Welcome to Senior Year, where you come for all your media needs. My name is Ray.
It's your boy, Nikki Tay.
And today, we are reviewing Avengers Infinity War.
It's a gauntlet here. There's some stones on the knuckle. Use your imagination. Directed by the Russo brothers, starring everybody. It's the Avengers.
Everybody.
You know, it's Chris Hemsworth, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Benedict Cumberbatch. The list goes on and on. These are people you know. And if you don't know them, where have you been for the last 10 years? I mean, since 2008, when Iron Man first dropped, it has been leading to this. It has been 19 films of just action, and the people that most people like me grew up on reading in comic books. This is what Stan Lee has given us, and it culminates into, I have to say it early, the most amazing thing I have seen this year. Yes, I said it. Testify, brother, can we join hands in prayer, because this is what we've been waiting on, people.
It's crazy to think that a movie could potentially have topped Black Panther.
How does Marvel do it? I mean, and we don't want to make this a Marvel versus DC debate, but I mean, come on, Marvel has just found the magic. The Disney magic has been collected and harnessed, and the Russo brothers, at least, have delivered every time. I mean, from Civil War, Winter Soldier, and now this, and we get a second part. Oh my God, we get a second one of this. I can end the review right here. This is, oh my God, this movie.
I can definitely say, let me bring in the calmer head. I can definitely say that this movie lived up to all of the expectations that we had going in. If you are a Marvel fan, if you are a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because you just started with the film that came out.
If you love Daredevil on Netflix, I mean,
yeah, you will love this movie. This movie is everything you wanted in the Marvel movie. Is it perfect? No. And we're going to tell you the small things that they got wrong, but they're really just small things.
I mean, very small. This movie is the paper that you put on your mom's fridge. You know, this is that A+ that you studied all night for. You went in and you just happen to know all the answers. This is it.
Either that or you cheated, for sure. And I think Marvel is cheating.
They are cheating. I mean, it's gotta be. You can't tell me you can have this many characters in a movie, it still flow very well, and Justice League turned out the way it did. It just boggles my mind that people can't get it right. But Marvel, you got it right again. First off, this is Infinity War. You know, if you have been paying attention to the movies, the Infinity Stones themselves have been drawing closer and closer together. And this is where the mysterious person known as Thanos has now said, it is time to finish what I have initiated.
That's true.
So if you think back to Avengers, the whole war on New York that Loki had instigated, if you will, that was Thanos pulling the strings. And what we saw, even in the Guardians of the Galaxy with the Power Stone, again, that is more Thanos pulling the strings. But now, in the Infinity War, it is Thanos that makes his presence known and definitely felt. Boy, that is a villain.
We really got to see the puppet master in this movie.
Man,
Thanos was an amazing villain. He lived up to the villainy that we wanted him to be. I would almost say, do you think he's the best Marvel villain?
Thanos did something that I was very surprised by. You know, we had Killmonger earlier in the year, who was a villain that you could sympathize with. Let's just say that. He was a villain that you could get behind and you understood his motives. Thanos, you know, for the comic book lovers out there, Thanos is an evil guy. You know, his intentions, while maybe somewhat understandable, are evil. Like, there's no really true, you know, sympathizing with somebody like Thanos. But the movie, Josh Brolin did very well. And like, okay, I almost get you. Yeah. I almost get you. Yeah. It's evil, you know, but I almost understand why you're doing what you're doing.
And for the comic book lovers out there, I think they kind of took the Doom mentality with Thanos. Thanos' whole reason for doing everything, like Nikki Tay said, wasn't so inherently evil. Because in the comic book, it's all about trying to impress Mistress Death. And in this movie, I had nothing to do with that. They took it in a different approach and made him more, I'm not going to say likable, but more understandable.
Exactly. It's twisted altruism. It's a really good intention, but a bad way of getting there. And I enjoyed it. I wanted Thanos to come out on top because, again, this isn't over. There will be a second part for everybody that's watched the movie after, seeing this review or before. There will be a second one. So don't you worry your little head about what actually happened.
And that might have been one of the bad spots. If it just depends on your thought process on it. The fact that the movie did leave off on a cliffhanger, you could guess. I guess you could say for some people that might have been bad because maybe you leave the theater with not wanting more because you feel like you didn't get enough because they left you at such a cliffhanger. So that might have been one of the negative spots, but I think that's always up to interpretation. For me, it wasn't that bad because I know I'm getting the new movie next year.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with it, but to some it could be looked at as a negative.
Exactly. For those who aren't patient. I mean, you've come this far. Again, I can't say it enough. 10 years you've waited. What's one more year?
And the action was amazing in this movie. Some of the best action, I would say definitely better than all of the Avengers movies so far, in my personal opinion.
Whoa, that's steep.
I feel like the action in this movie was top notch because you got so many stars that we've been looking at all fighting. This movie does a really, really good job of being able to give you everybody in small bites.
About this plan of yours. I think it's good, except it sucks. So let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good. Wow.
Like, if you love the Guardians of the Galaxy, then you get your Guardians of the Galaxy moment in this movie. If you love T'Challa and the world of Wakanda, you get your bite of Wakanda in this movie. You get a bite of all of the Marvel glory in all of these 19 movies that they made. It's almost like they packed all of them into this 2.5-hour movie, and it was done so well.
It was done seamlessly, might I say. It wasn't choppy or stagnant as you think, they would be, jumping around from each character's story, allowing each prospective leader to shine. This is a movie you have to see. I mean, the only way you don't see this movie is if you're someone who just doesn't like superhero movies, which is tough because that's all we're getting nowadays.
And with good reason, because they are so good.
They're so good.
Another negative spot, which is, like I said, it's not a lot in this movie. The CGI in this movie was very inconsistent. Some scenes looked amazing. Sometimes Thanos looked like, he was coming out of the screen. He looked amazing. But then there were other scenes where it looked bad. It was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like,
Clearly CGI.
Is this 1995 CGI? Oh my God.
95, not even early 2000.
Yeah, it was bad. It was like Daredevil, the movie. It was just bad. But that way, there wasn't enough of that to hinder the movie in its entirety. There were just small moments. Now, some of the fighting scenes involved Thanos, of course.
Thanos. How do you not have Thanos, getting out there and brawling? I mean,
He did. He actually threw a punch. It wasn't one of those villains that sat in the back and had his henchmen do his work. But speaking of the henchmen, the children of Thanos.
Oh.
They were great. They were 4 members that were strong. But we did not get enough backstory on them. And that's just due to the movie being so packed with so many people that we love that they really can't designate enough time to get those people in and give them a proper backstory. So outside of them just fighting, we really didn't care about them and really didn't even really know them. We just knew that they were brutes, some of them, and some of them had magic, but that was it. We kind of knew a little bit about their powers and abilities based on them fighting, but we didn't know their names. We didn't know why they fought for Thanos. Nothing. So if you look at that, that could be another negative in the movie.
I agree. I mean, if you kind of take in the context of all the other movies, they do just kind of appear out of nowhere. We truly just understand, hey, they work for Thanos and they are powerful. Great. I mean, they could have introduced them at a post-credit scene in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 or something.
Yeah, they could have maybe put one of each of those 4 in one of the previous Marvel movies just to kind of build them up and give you a little bit of them coming into this next movie. But that's neither here nor there. The movie overall was still amazing. And it's getting to the point where that Disney magic, like Nick said earlier, is rubbing off, and we're gonna start calling this the Marvel magic. If you want to make a superhero movie, do it like Marvel. I'm a big DC fan, just like I'm a big Marvel fan, but DC is letting us down.
Oh.
They're letting us down with that crap that we got on the Justice League. And we look at this movie. It's like the ugly twin sister over there. It's like, what are you? Why do you look like that?
It's like this. It's like the two girls and Cinderella, and then Marvel is Cinderella. It's like we know who the prince is choosing. You don't have to put on that glass slipper.
Oh my God! And DC is just letting us down. And we want and expect so much more from you.
Yeah, it's time for a reboot. As sad as it is to say,
I'm not gonna say that.
It's time.
I just hope they can do better. But at the end of the day, Marvel has given us everything we wanted, and hopefully we get another 10 years of Marvel greatness.
So now comes the very difficult part. And since we do these reviews like right after we watch the movie, I'm always just on this emotional high. But I try to ground it in, what would be the feeling I would have, say, a few days after seeing this movie. And I can tell you that this movie will still be amazing. This is the best movie I've seen all year. I can say that confidently. And it isn't because I've been invested for 10 years. I've watched every Marvel movie that's come out. No, this is a really solid movie for moviegoers. A great movie for people who are fans of the comic books. There are not a lot of flaws in this movie. Again, tiny CGI errors. Okay, I can live with it. A few corny lines. Most of the lines were funny. I'm happy with the movie, and that is why I can give it a 9.3. I think this is an amazing movie. How many times do I have to say amazing before you get up, stop watching YouTube, and just go see it? Just go see the movie.
This movie will definitely get more than one watch, for sure. I don't say that a lot. This is probably the second movie I've seen more than once this year. The first one being another Marvel movie in Black Panther. So this movie definitely deserves all of the praise that it's getting. I'm going to give this movie a 9. I'm going to give it a solid 9. The highest rated movie so far this year.
Yeah, easily.
The movie was great. What made it so great was the great villain, the great use of the characters in the movie, giving them their own love in this movie. Some characters were missing. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll let you see who. That potentially could have made the movie better or worse. We don't know. But I'm not going to take away from what we got on the big screen. It was 2.5 hours of amazing Marvel magic. Thank you, Marvel, for giving us a treat in 2018.
But enough about the movie. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you felt about the Avengers Infinity War. I am pretty sure they love it as well.
Let us know who your favorite character was.
Of course.
Let us know your favorite scene. No spoilers. Don't spoil it in the comments. But we do want to hear from you.
Yeah, let us know. As always, make sure you hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of our reviewing content. And sure enough, we have a lot of reviewing content available. As always, don't forget, you've seen it here.
And today, we are seeing and have seen.
I would like to say review it. You tried that? Look, don't be yourself.
I didn't know what to say. I forgot what the word was.
I'm glad you messed it up because I don't know what my thing gonna be.
I was shooting from the hip.
I saw Spider-Man Homecoming. It was good.
It was good.
It was okay.
It was
See,
good.
they gave me just enough of his friend. The little scene he gave me on the bus was enough. I was like, thank
You couldn't get him.
I was like, thank God he's gone. Thank God he's gone. Because he was so bad that last one. And don't forget, you've seen it here. And don't forget, you've seen it here. Wakanda for. Wakanda for. Don't you worry. Tell Nick Fury.
My king.